The city of Brooklyn Center is eyeing a significant expansion of its community center. The expansion would include the construction of indoor gym space, a teen lounge, and a walking track. Existing locker rooms and event spaces would also be renovated. The $37 million project would be largely funded by sales tax revenue. This week, the Brooklyn Center City Council approved putting the 0.5% sales tax hike plan before voters this November.
And I, for one, think it's a perfect opportunity to exercise democracy and let them have a voice in that process. We've done the legwork of securing the bonding.
According to city staff, Brooklyn Center has not received state bonding dollars for a capital project since the construction of the former Brookdale Mall. The city has also never levied its own sales tax. A St. Paul man is accused of threatening mail carriers with a gun, including a U.S. postal employee in Brooklyn Center, in an attempt to rob them. 26-year-old Reuben Adams is charged with 2 counts of assault and attempted robbery with the use of a deadly weapon. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, Adams pointed a gun at a letter carrier in Brooklyn Center as well as at another carrier in Edina and demanded mailbox keys in both cases. Federal prosecutors say mailbox keys are valuable to criminals who use them to steal mail and checks. The crime is part of an alarming trend seen across the country. A legal battle is brewing between a Twin Cities megachurch and the city of Plymouth. A law firm representing Eagle Brook Church has submitted a letter to the city threatening legal action unless its proposal for a church gets approved. Eagle Brook Church wants to build a 64,000 square foot campus on farmland in northwest Plymouth, west of Maple Grove Parkway and north of Chankata Trail. The city has received nearly 200 pages of email correspondence, both for and against the project. Many neighbors who oppose have expressed concerns about traffic and potential adverse effects on their neighborhood, while city council members agreed, voting 6-1 to reject the proposal. The city's planning commission did unanimously recommend approval, with the chair stating the church proposal is a permitted use based on the city's land use guidelines. In a letter to the city, the attorney for the church writes there is no lawful basis to deny such permission. If the council chooses this regrettable course, Eagle Brook will pursue litigation. The City Council expects to hold one final vote on the project. CCX News will keep you posted. The city of Golden Valley could soon start a search for a new city manager. The Golden Valley City Council is discussing the upcoming retirement of city manager Tim Cruikshank this week. It's not clear when he plans to step down as the city's top executive. Cruikshank has been city manager since 2015. The city may hire an interim city manager while searching for a permanent candidate to fill the role. Just last week, State Representative Mike Nelson announced his decision to retire. This comes after serving Brooklyn Park and Osseo for 22 years.
Got a lot of things accomplished, and when I first ran, I didn't think I was going to be here that long. And like I said, it's 11 terms, 22 years. It's time to move on with my life and actually retire and see what that's like.
Nelson is a carpenter by trade. He spent much of his legislative career advocating for labor unions, playing a role in legislation to give home health and daycare workers the option to form a union. Nelson says last year was historic for progressive legislation in Minnesota. The school lunch bill was one of his highlights.
If they're hungry, they're not going to learn. That's a piece of legislation I think is going forward is going to be good for everybody. And so things like that in the past might have been bipartisan, have become partisan in the last few years.
Nelson will leave the House after the upcoming legislative session wraps up in May. A Maple Grove restaurant recently expanded to add a form of entertainment that's growing in popularity. As I found out, it's the kind of activity that can bring you back to medieval times or help prepare you for the zombie apocalypse. It doesn't take much to get people out for pizza and drinks.
What we want to do is we want to teach people how to throw.
But these days,
yeah, it's my ex name is Wonder Woman, so.
There's something else drawing folks to Maple Grove's Chanticleer Pizza.
Completely excited about this and It's just fun throwing sharp things at the wall.
I find it really meditative, especially when I'm angry with my husband.
Those are the big axes. Then we have our standard axes here, which is more so your typical hatchet.
This is Dragon's Lair Axe and Tap, a new business venture under the same roof as Chanticleer Pizza that involves throwing sharp metal objects at a wooden target.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, I didn't know what to expect, but I'm really enjoying myself. I wish I was better at it.
Think of this as Top Golf, but for axe throwing.
Yeah, this is a complete dream come true.
Austin Lukey is one of the owners of this new entertainment venue, which opened in December in a space that was formerly a storage area for Rainbow Foods.
So people can come in and get great food, great drinks, and now have a great entertainment option that the whole family can do, because anyone 13 and up can come in and do it.
Dragon's Lair has 15 different games and a wide variety of axes to throw at the various targets.
As soon as you stick that axe into the wood and hear that thunk, there's just something about it that's just, as soon as you get that, it's just so addicting.
For Austin and his business partner, David Lewis,
Just going to bring it back and snap forward.
the goal is to help customers master the art of axe
You
throwing.
don't stand in front of it when you pull.
Because if people learn the proper technique, they'll want to keep coming back for more.
The higher you hold it, the faster she spins.
I see. It certainly helps that Austin and David happen to be among the top-ranked throwers in the world.
We all started picking up our axes off the floor. So every single one that is training understands that it's going to take finding the right throw and finding the right axe for the person.
This axe-throwing venture marks new territory for Chanticleer Pizza, which also just started serving breakfast on weekends in the form of steak and eggs, chimichangas, and enchiladas.
We have a lot of authentic, great offerings that are big, shareable, and everything is fresh and homemade. And the hash browns are out of this world.
For many businesses, evolution is important.
Nice.
And if axe throwing continues to catch on, the owners have little doubt that what they've built here will continue to draw people for years to come.
Yeah, I want to have this become like the hub for an axe throwing community in Minnesota.
The official grand opening of Dragon's Lair Axe and Tap will take place on Saturday, January 20th.